In today's fight news, we have former UFC middleweight champion Chris Weidman speaking at the post-fight press conference for UFC Atlantic City, discussing how he would have retired if he hadn't won his fight that night, saying, "I still think I have a lot of potential, and I have a lot of adversity, and I still think I have it. So, until I don't think I have it anymore, I'm here." Also at the post-fight press conference, welterweight standout Joaquin Buckley rejects the idea of a possible rematch with Kevin Holland, who in a previous match knocked him out, stating, "I don't want it back no more. He lost to MVP. Damn, poor child. You messed up the money." As we reported on yesterday's episode, undefeated women's flyweight prospect Victoria Dudakova had to pull out of her matchup against Melissa Gatto moments before the ring walks. On her Instagram account, she posted the following: "Hello everyone, I want to apologize to my opponent Melissa Gatto and Mick Maynard and all the UFC team for canceling the fight in the last minute. I felt great in the morning after workout, and then I started feeling not so good. I couldn't eat all day. I thought I will feel better. We went to the arena, and when I began warming up, I started to feel dizzy, and I had nauseating. Doctors came to our room, and they gave me a pill, and still, nothing changed. Event today, I feel not good, and I have best training camp ever. I hope to come back ASAP. Thank you to my team for everything." Coming off an impressive knockout victory, featherweight standout Kyle the Monster Nelson took to the mic during the post-fight press conference to call out Nate the Train Landwehr, saying this: "We'll see him go to sleep." Coming off her impressive unanimous decision win against Erin Blanchfield at the UFC Atlantic City main event, number 3 ranked women's flyweight contender Manon Farah says she wants a title shot, quote-unquote, no matter what. After his impressive knockout victory at UFC Atlantic City, fan favorite featherweight Nate the Train Landwehr says he's open to facing Bryce Mitchell next, stating, "That would be a good one." Per Guilherme Cruz, former UFC flyweight Igor Severino had this to say in regards to his controversial biting disqualification and subsequent release from the UFC. "I started to get conscious again at the hotel, and I was already cut by then. Then my social media was flooded with hateful comments, mean messages, people angry at what had happened, and also threats. I started to digest all that and feel bad too. I've made a mistake, and I apologize to everyone. I'm sad because the internet is so polluted. I've made a mistake, and I'm willing to pay for this mistake, recognize this mistake, but I haven't killed anyone. I haven't caused any harm or committed any crime, you know? To see people threaten me, threaten my family, makes me really sad and apprehensive. What do you guys think? Should the UFC give him a second chance or nah? Let us know in the comments below." After his controversial unanimous decision loss to Chris Weidman, middleweight contender Bruno Silva had this to say to Guilherme Cruz: "The referee was bizarre. He effed up, and then effed up on top of that. The least they could do is a no contest. No way. He put his finger inside my eye. Chris Weidman acted in bad faith. It's said by the referee at the locker room that you can't fight with your fingers pointing straight. It should be either up or with your hands closed. He spent the entire fight with his fingers pointing at my face and still celebrated as if he had knocked me out." When asked about the eye poke incident, former middleweight champion Chris Weidman had this to say at the post-fight press conference: "Was he looking for a way out? I don't know, but you can't just turn your back and fall to the ground every time your eyeball feels poked. Did I want to poke him in the eye? No, I'm unhappy that I poked him in the eye. But when you're fighting with these small gloves, eye pokes kind of just happen." The former champ also had this to say: "I'll never question a guy if he's saying he's getting poked in the eye. But you can't just drop every time you feel something is touching your eyeball. You know, it was like he was looking for a way out." In other news, the 2024 Most Tested Athlete Award goes to the notorious Conor McGregor. Per the UFC anti-doping website, it shows that McGregor was tested 5 times in the first quarter of 2024. In comparison, you have Sean Strickland, Themba Gorimbo, and Mayra Bueno Silva that were only tested 3 times. The website also shows that there were 639 test visits through the end of March, and that's a 42% reduction from the same period the year prior when USADA had collected 1,096 samples. Former bantamweight champion Aljamain Funkmaster Sterling recently took to his YouTube channel to share his game plan for the upcoming UFC 300 fight against Calvin Kattar. In his words, "A lot of people are saying that if O'Malley was to put me out, what is a bigger guy going to do that hits harder? I always say you can't hit what you can't touch, and I think that's going to be the name of the game. I'm going to try to make it look as close to the Max Holloway fight as possible." Sterling also said, "When I get my hands on Calvin, people are going to be very surprised." During a recent episode of The Rush with Max Crosby, UFC President Dana White had this to say in regards to a possible matchup between interim heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall and current heavyweight champion John Jones. "It's almost a courtesy thing to give Tom Aspinall the shot. Give him an opportunity to win. Or you win and it just absolutely cements your legacy." While speaking to TMZ, former welterweight king Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare Usman, had this to say: "What a way to go out. Grab the middleweight belt, go down, and grab the welterweight belt." In other fight news, multi-division 1 champion Anatoly Malikin had this to say in regards to fighting anyone at any size, stating, "When I was a kid, I used to fight a lot on the street. I had to go against anybody, small guy, medium guy, heavy guy. Nobody was interested in what your weight is." And we wrap things up with none other than former middleweight champion Sean Strickland on X talking about leaving MMA for boxing. "You know, man, I'm not climbing that effing ladder again. If that's it for me, I don't know, boxing?" In which a fan replied, "Boxing would be fun to watch you in. You'd basically get paid to beat up YouTubers." In which Strickland responded, "Yeah, go make millions beating up Jake Paul, laughing my ass off."